But one of the things I don't know anything about is spoons, I'm afraid. These are an alien concept to me, evidently. My bad. Spoons are one of the more important pieces of cutlery that we use to consume food. They're the go-to for liquids and other foods that prove challenging to eat with a knife or fork. Since the inception of the spoon, they have been widely produced in all different kinds of sizes and styles, and all those styles have names. On the whole, these names are pretty self-explanatory. One of the smallest types of spoon is called a teaspoon, as its main use when first created was to be used in the preparation of tea, for, like stirring it, putting sugar in, all that kinds of good stuff. And then we also have soup spoons, and they mainly exist to eat soup with, if you couldn't guess by the name. Then we also have things like serving spoons, used to serve things with. Yeah, I have so many spoons by the side of me right now. But the names of all these spoons are pretty self-explanatory. But then we get to tablespoons. Tablespoons are pretty common objects in most of our lives. I'd be shocked if someone watching this video didn't have at least like one tablespoon in their kitchen, but that name is really odd. While all the other spoons have fairly self-explanatory names, this one seems to be a little bit more ambiguous. It's definitely not used for eating a table, and it's not used in the creation of a table either. So why exactly is it called a tablespoon? But before we carry on, I need to clear the air a little bit. Does this really seem a bit more lower quality than normal? That's because my editor Amber is away at the moment. She's just having some time off at the moment, so I'm left editing this video, and I haven't edited an on-camera video for literally years now. So Amber's getting some well-earned time off. I'm behind the computer making this into an actual video, so if it looks a bit rubbisher than my normal on-camera videos, that's why. Amber should be back next week, but for now, you're stuck with me. But let's carry on. But with my grovelling out the way, what we first need to establish is what exactly even is a tablespoon. As it turns out, I and many others have seemingly been calling the wrong kind of spoon a tablespoon. When I think of a tablespoon, this is what comes to mind. It's the kind of spoon I'd use to eat things like ice cream or cereal, and I'm sure many would agree with me on the fact that this is a tablespoon. But it turns out this might not actually be a tablespoon. Strange, I know. Something I discovered while researching this video is that this is a dessert spoon. Seriously, I've been calling this a tablespoon my entire life, and seemingly other people have too, but it might actually be a more UK-based thing, as discussions about this being a dessert spoon and not a tablespoon came from mainly UK-centric subreddit. But if you always knew this was a dessert spoon, then congrats on you. You know more about spoons than me. You're some sort of spoon wizard, I suppose. I don't know, I know a little about a lot, but one of the things I don't know anything about is spoons, I'm afraid. These are an alien concept to me, evidently. My bad. So if this isn't a tablespoon, then what the hell is? Well, it turns out a tablespoon is actually the spoon that is one size up from a dessert spoon. And I'm not sure I actually have one in my house. And yeah, to be honest, my entire sort of concept of spoons has been shattered by the making of this video. But from what I read online, a key metric of a tablespoon is that it shouldn't easily fit in your mouth. And as far as I'm aware, this does fit in my mouth. Look. There you go. Ergo, this is not a true tablespoon. So if a tablespoon isn't meant to fit in your mouth, then what on earth is the true point of a tablespoon then? Isn't that the whole point of spoons, that they fit in your mouth to put food in? Well, when we understand what a tablespoon actually is, as well as its true purpose, we can understand why it has that weird name. There it is. I was holding it too low down. Camera's up here. My bad. It isn't even a tablespoon, you liar. But before we continue, I need to briefly talk about patrons and super thanks. Patreon is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what Names Will Explain, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below. Conversely, if you want to just make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comment section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. But back to tablespoons. It turns out that the main use of an actual tablespoon isn't to eat food with, but instead to serve food with. While we do have larger spoons simply dubbed serving spoons, which are more made for moving food from pots to pans to plates, tablespoons are more made for moving food from the table to your plate. If you're having a fancy dinner of some kind, when it's all laid out on the table and all tasty looking. And it's from here that we start to understand that name, and it makes way more sense. This isn't a tablespoon either, by the way. I mean, it can't fit in my mouth, well, definitely can't fit in my mouth. I know I've quite a big mouth. But this is a serving spoon, not a tablespoon. Tablespoon is something between these two that I don't own, evidently. Tablespoons aren't named that because you eat tables with them. They're named that because their original aim was to move things around the dinner table with. This makes way more sense, and when you know what an actual tablespoon is as well as its purpose, the name is just as self-explanatory as the likes of a teaspoon and a soup spoon. Where are my friends, the teaspoon and the soup spoon? There they are. You know what? I actually love tea and soup, so these might be like, I should do a soup tier list video. Not a soup, oh, I should do a soup tier list. I should do a spoon tier list video at some point, but these guys will be high up there. My precious soup spoon and my precious little teaspoon, because I love soup and tea. Anyway, it seems most of the confusion around the name tablespoon comes from the fact that I and many others have been calling the wrong kind of spoon, this spoon, a tablespoon. When it's not a tablespoon, it's a dessert spoon. But am I going to change my ways? Am I going to start calling this a dessert spoon? Probably not. Yep, you guys did just watch a whole video about tablespoons, and this is what happens clearly when Amber isn't here to control things. She goes away for 1 week, and suddenly I'm just in my office playing with spoons, because, yeah, missing you, Amber. Hope you're enjoying your time away, but please come back and help us with the channel. But anyway, please share a topic down below which we can cover in next Monday's Name Explain video. It could be about literally anything as this goes, but as this shows you all, it could be as niche or broad as you all like. I will then choose 3 of those topics and place them in a poll for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the topic covered in next Monday's Name Explain video. But this week it was actually a 3-way tie. Everything got like 33% or something. It was insane. I was like, what? So when it's a tie, I just take pick, and yeah, I chose tablespoons because that tickled me. But anyway, all of that can be found down below, and you can vote in that poll as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/nameexplained, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. Anyway, that's more than enough for myself. But don't forget to go follow me on Instagram, where I'm NameExplainYT, and don't forget to join the Facebook page, Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care.